My drill bit has got stuck. Bloody hell. You think this would be a bit easier, wouldn't you? Hello everyone, Andy here and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to, eventually I'm doing another mod on the ST. So at the beginning of this year we've definitely dealt with the performance side of things on the ST, but now what I want to do is try and improve the looks that little bit more. We've got quite a few car shows that I'm going for this year and I want to make it looking as best as it can be with the budget I've got. And something that I think that's always been missing is, well, what we've got here is I think it's the TRC, if not it's the imitation one, but TRC front splitter. And what I wanted to do is the side splitters and the rear spats. Now the reason why I have gone with Maxton is I actually prefer the look of them compared to the TRC and the imitation ones. There's just a little bit of extra detail that you get with the Maxton ones I think just look a little bit more aggressive. So before I have a look inside, hopefully it has got all the parts actually for fitting. I'm not 100% sure, I've not actually looked or questioned that. But what I want to do is get the car jacked up, give it a clean along the bottom of the side skirts and the bottom of the bumpers in each of those corners. So, just opened the rear spats and I can see we've got a load of nuts, washers and bolts. So obviously all the bits are there to fit those.
Is the camera talking?
I'm talking to the camera. So this is what I was talking about, how at the side here, I like how it has just this little step out. It is only a subtle detail, but it's just little things like that. I just think it just looks a little bit more aggressive because the usual ones are just a straight line. So I've seen other videos where people use self-tapping screws, but I'm gonna try and use these just because they have been supplied by Maxton, so I've got all the various bits, but I don't think there's gonna be enough there. There's only 8 bolts. So what they're kind of suggesting there with 8 bolts is 2 in each rear spat, I assume, so that's 4, and 2 in each side splitters. That is not enough. So yeah, I might have to try and nip out and get some self-tapping screws as well, just to obviously make sure it's nice and secure. Oh, so Maxton, these rear spats that you sell do not fit your Maxton rear diffuser. So I've marked it out on what looks like where I'm going to have to cut, because if I place that up against there and roughly show you, can you see that? There's about 1 inch there of the rear spat, which actually won't fit because it's blocked by the rear diffuser. So I'm gonna have to cut this out of both of them to get them to fit. So just gonna go to a neighbour who's got a grinder, some sort of tool to cut them out. So a big shout out to Milo. You know who you are. So yeah, just gonna go around his now, get these cut. So now if I marry that up to there, it's a little bit rough, but obviously I'm looking at it really up close here. Not many people will be scrutinising the car that up close, but yeah, that's had to have quite a lot hacked off it. I've got to admit I'm really unhappy about, because the whole point of spending the money in getting the Maxton rear spats compared to, never mind the TRC ones, but you can get the much cheaper imitation ones. Try and get the first one in, because then what I'm hoping is once I've got this one in, peel the film off, and then I've got this one in place, at least it'll hang there, and then I can just fine adjust it to get the other one in. So that wants to go about there. Dagnammit, I need to jack the car up a little bit more. What the fuck? Definitely would be easier with 2 people. I actually had the drilling in the wrong way around. What an idiot. Finally, albeit the drill bit's got stuck. Oh my god. My drill bit has got stuck. Bloody hell. You think this would be a bit easier, wouldn't you? Right, let's see if we can at least get 1 bolt in and get going with this thing. Well, annoyingly, the position of it, right where there's another piece of plastic, so I don't even know. I honestly thought this would be a lot easier. Yeah, I can't even get the bolt in. I'm actually going to have to trim a bit of plastic off. Great. Finally, one in. That actually took me way too long, but you can sort of feel where it needs to go. There's like a lip there, and then it just sort of feels to me like it wants to sit. It wants to sit like that. Now, annoyingly, when you do look up close, look, there's a little gap there, which hopefully will tighten up a bit more. All right, on to the next one. I'm just going to do the same. Drill a pilot hole, drill a 6mm hole. I found it actually is, and then get the bolt in. So it's on. Well, that's where I've positioned the two of them anyway. Peel it off probably most of the way along the edge that's going to be underneath now. The only problem is I can't see inside this time, so I'm going to have to feel. Right, there's the washer on. Oh geez, now I've got to get the little bolt on. This ain't going to be easy. I think it's on. So that's that one put in. It's just loosely, so it's just bitten onto the nut on the underneath, but it seems to have worked in the way that I've done it, using the jack to hold it in place, a couple of bricks just to loosely get it in the right place, and then at the back should line up nicely. So the only annoying thing is I don't know why, but Maxton have only given 2 bolts for both sides, which is just crazy. So what I might do is I might get some self-tapping screws. I'm going to have to nip to a DIY store so I can put at least another 2. I'm going to use both bolts for both ends, so it's in, and then at least 2 more, maybe 1, 2, 3 self-tapping screws just to keep it nice and secure and stiff and in place. So here we have it. It is done. And weirdly I'm showing you the front, but they already had these splitter at the front. But hopefully if the camera can pick it up well enough. Yeah, it's all done, all looking good. It really does sort of finish off the car. Definitely does. It just gives that nicer little edge there. It kind of flares it out, makes it look maybe a little bit wider, a little bit more aggressive. And that kind of shot there, you can see, because the way the light is highlighting it. Maybe the main reason why I went for Maxton, even though I know I had the problems with the rear spats, but I really like the way that they jut out at the side. I think that just makes it a little bit more aggressive than the TRC ones. I just like that little extra detail. They're a nice, like sort of a little bit wider. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but compared to especially the imitation ones or the TRC ones, they look a little bit chunkier, a little bit thicker, which again, I really do like. But yeah, I do like that. Really does finish off the car. I just realised I've left my reg there when I was just taking pictures. Actually, let me just remove that. Yeah, one of the things was that the car always came with the front splitter, which obviously made the front look a bit more sporty, a little bit more aggressive. But what always let it down was there was nothing on the sides. But now that they're done, it's looking sort of finished now, it's looking complete, and the rear spats there are just getting in shot. And it does look good. See if I can go really low so I can see. So there we go, that's how sort of much more lower it makes the car look. So yeah, really happy with the look of the car. I do appreciate Maxton for sending me a private message after they saw my story on the issue that I did have with these. Now if I do show you really close up, if I can, there is a little bit of a gap there from when I had to cut it, but otherwise you really don't see it. It's just a bit of a pain because it's not perfect. I'm a little bit OCD with my car and I'd like it to be perfect, but I really appreciate that they've given me a refund on these rear spats, and they're going to investigate why I've had to cut mine, because I've actually heard from other people on Instagram and even Maxton themselves, they've never had the issue with the Maxton ones before because they do supposed to fit with the diffuser. So it's really odd that the ones that I seem to have required cutting. It is all fitted properly, as you can see. It's all in line there on both sides. Less of the negative and the positive. It does look great. I absolutely, definitely love the look now. I think the outside of the car is looking spot on, ready for kind of the show season, ready for my car shows that I've got coming up this year. So thanks all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.